Our number 10, survey to a group of 113 tourists. Excuse me. So U is 113 here. So there's 113 tourists that we spoke to. 62 plan to visit the Gateway Arch. Well, let's put these in here. So I've got the Arch, I've got the zoo, and I've got the museum. Now, we know with these kind of situations, these Venn diagram situations, we always start with the intersection of all three regions. That usually comes at the end here. So let's say, okay, so 14 plan to visit none. Let's put that in there, 14. 8 plan to visit the art museum, the zoo, and the Gateway Arch. 8 plan to visit all three, so they go in the intersection of all three. Okay, so now, here we go. So 16 plan to visit the Gateway Arch and the zoo, but not the art museum. Let's try to figure out where this region is. The Gateway Arch and the zoo, but not the art museum. Here's the Gateway Arch and the zoo. Here's the Gateway Arch and the zoo, but not the art museum. So I'm leaving out the art museum. Here's the Gateway Arch and the zoo, but not the art museum. That's this region here. This region that I'm circling with my pen right here. That's the region. Gateway Arch and the zoo, but not the art museum. This is literally telling you there's 16 people there in this region. Now, normally this prompt would say 16 people plan to visit the Gateway Arch and the zoo, and this is where the 16 people would be, in the Gateway Arch and the zoo. But here we're given the constraint, but not the art museum. So now we're just talking about this region. Okay, 14 plan to visit the art museum and the Gateway Arch. Art museum and the Gateway Arch, but not the zoo. So that's here. That's my 14 people right there. 14 of them. There you go. Next. 11 plan to visit the art museum and the zoo. Art museum and the zoo, but not the Gateway Arch. So that's this region right here. That's my 11 people. Boom. There they go. Okay. 48 plan to visit the zoo. Here's the zoo now. 48 people plan to visit the zoo. I have 19 and 16 people in there already. That's how many people? 35 people I have in there already. 48 plan to visit the zoo. 48 minus 35. I believe that's 13 people there. 62 plan to visit the Gateway Arch. 62 plan to visit the Gateway Arch here. I've got 38 people in there so far. 38 people in the Gateway Arch circle. 62 minus 38. I believe that's 24. Right? I hope so. You can check my math and see if I'm right. I don't know. All right. So now I've got all these regions filled in. I've used all the information here. The question is asking how many plan to visit the art museum only, which is pretty much exactly what I don't know. This is what I'm trying to find. I'm trying to find this region here. So if I add up everything that I have and subtract it from 113, I should get that region. So let's try to add this up in a nice way. So let's say that's 40, 54, 54 plus 14 is 68, 68 plus 8 is 76, 76 plus 24, 76 plus 24 is 100. So I've got 100 people that I know in here already. If I subtract that from the 113, there's 13 people that should be left in this region that visit the art museum. Only 13 people.